Good morning, everyone. I'm Janelle, Riley's mom. Nice to meet you all. I figured I'd put my face on camera since I was kind of scolded by some people saying, not in a bad way, but saying, gosh, don't even know what you look like if you don't put your face on the camera. So I figured, well, what the heck, let's try this out. Anyway, if you're watching this, you've probably already seen part 1 of Smiley Riley's Road to Recovery. And those of you that have been on her Facebook page, we thank you guys so very much for your support. It means the world to us. She's such a special girl to all of us, and she has lightened our hearts. And we've learned a ton from her. So thank you again. We really appreciate it. I was just going to start off with some of the beginning part of her story for those of you that are new. 2 years ago, Riley was paralyzed in an accident. Her and her sister Rosie were going out to go chase kitties and go potty for the last time in the evening, and they just so happened to go around the corner of the house where it was really dark at full speed, barking and playing and having fun, and all of a sudden Kevin and I were up on Kevin's my husband. We were up on the porch and we heard some howling and screaming from Riley. So we went around the corner to go see what was going on, and she had run into the garden cart and or into our garden cart, and it was a head-on collision with her, and she must have spun around because we didn't see it, but she ended up breaking her back in 3 different places. So at that point, we called the vet. We didn't realize it was in 3 places, but we knew she was paralyzed because she couldn't move her back end. And whoops, let's go around. There we go, into the wind. So anyway, she couldn't move her back end, and so we panicked, but we were able to get onto the phone with the vet, and they reacted quickly, and we were able to get her in right away. They did take x-rays and confirmed the fractures in her back. It was right around her thoracic nerve. So, however, the cool part about this all was we were given the option to, one, put her down. Vet thought, well, gosh, what kind of life is she going to live being, a cattle dog? And, well, we thought about it for a minute and said, well, with injuries, it takes about 3 days, and that's when you hit your max soreness, and then that's when recovery starts. So we decided to wait a couple days, and after those couple days, Kevin and I had a long discussion, and we thought, gosh, you know what kind of life is she really going to live? And that was a really hard discussion. It was really emotional. It was a decision that we talked long and hard about, and we're kind of like, gosh, you know what? We were sad, and we said, gosh, you know what? Maybe we should put her down. And we did make that decision. However, when we called the vet to tell them our decision, they answered, and we said, well, gosh, this is kind of our thoughts, and if you want to go ahead and put her down, let's do that. And the vet said, I don't know if you want to make that decision. And we said, what do you mean? And the vet said, well, we have deep pain response. And we were elated. We cried, and we're upset. In a good way. Because, okay, we're going to try this again. Had a short interruption. So we cried. We were elated and sad at the same time because we just made that decision, but then we're happy. So happy tears came out, and we're like, holy smokes, what in the heck? So we rushed up to the vet, and they were happy, you know, and so weren't we. Holy smokes. It was one of the coolest, not really a cool thing, but it was really great news, if you will. So we got up there, and the vet showed us. She pinched onto her leg pretty good, and then she pulled back. Rylie did, which was the best news for us. And then we are like, well, Riley's coming home. So we left her in the ICU there for, gosh, another couple of days, because she was, you know, she was having skin lesions. We couldn't figure out what was going on there. She had a bladder infection, which is not uncommon. Sorry, my eyes are running because it's windy, but it's nice out, so I'm trying to stay in the sun. But so they were trying to get the bladder infection under control, keeping her bladder expressed. And, you know, and that's part of it too, because she lost all control of her bladder, number 1 and number 2, which is not exactly the greatest thing in the world for her. And so that was the other thing that we had to learn, and I'll go into that later. But the next couple of days were trials for us, because we didn't know exactly what to do. So what did we do? We went shopping. And we're like, gosh, what kind of bed do we get her? How do we keep her confined? All these questions, all these things. We ended up getting her a little child's playpen, which was kind of cool. And it had a changing table that you could raise and lower. And so that was instrumental big time for us. And then we brought it home and set it up and got her ready, which you saw in the first video. And that was probably by far one of the best decisions that we made. And it worked out perfectly. So, anyway, that being said, we brought Rylie home. And little by little, she started moving her legs a little bit. And we did have to express her bladder and to keep her clean, but she did come down with a pretty gnarly bladder infection, one that I don't wish on anybody.
Awesome.
That was an experience in itself, because we didn't know what was going on. We thought she had really bad gas, and in all actuality it was her bladder infection. So, sorry, the dogs are walking all around. Let's see Rylie. There she is. Going up the hill, going to play in the bushes. Anyway, I'll just keep talking. So, the learning curve was how to keep her bladder expressed to keep her from getting another one. They put her on some pretty powerful antibiotics to kick the rear out of that bladder infection of hers. But we were pretty successful. And it just so happened to knock it out within a week. So recovery was pretty darn quick with that one. And then we were able to move along with our recovery. The other thing too that we did was sorry, they're funny as heck. The other thing that we're able to do was keep in contact with the vet, which was awesome. Our vet called us every day to check on Rylie. If we had any questions, they would call us right back, which was amazing. Oh my gosh. Let's see this. What are you doing, Rylie? You goofball. Come here. All right. She's a kick in the pants. She kills us all the time. Anyway, so the rest of the story goes that she came home, we got her taken care of. She got a bladder infection, we got that taken care of. And then it was just baby steps from there. It was small movements. It was taking her out of the playpen and giving her floor time. A lot of it was just love. And the majority of it is love. Because if you love your animals, then you take care of them the best way that you know. And that was, she made it real easy. So anyway, so now she's running around having a good old time, and then, okay, so I remembered one of the other things that was going on with Riley in the vet is she was getting skin lesions. And those skin lesions, we didn't realize until a little bit too late, were from chicken. We didn't realize she had an allergy to chicken. And so the treats that she was given with her pills were chicken based. And so once we realized that, we were able to put her back on her fish food diet, because that's all we ever fed them was fish based diet. And no rice, no corn, no nothing. It was all fish based still anyways. And once we were able to get that under control, the lesions went away. We did end up having to shave her down pretty close to get everything exposed, and just to get some anti-inflammatory meds on her, just because they were just miserable looking. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, she was broke out, but she wasn't suffering too much. We were able to control it. And then again, you know, we were using adult diapers to kind of help with her bladder, because her bladder was leaking. So once we were able to get her on the floor and have those around her, she started breaking out on her tummy. And so those adult diapers were causing more lesions. So she had an allergy to the material that was used in them. So we took those off and we quit using them, and ended up just using potty pads under her, and that seemed to work really well. And once we got the learned process on how to express her bladder properly, things went a lot smoother. Her recovery just became that much smoother for her and us, actually. And that was one of the cool things. She made it real easy. She's just a happy-go-lucky girl, and she makes us laugh every single day. That's why she makes it easy. So follow along, and I'll provide some more pictures and show you guys some of the things that we did and are doing today still. Even today, it's wound care every single day. As you can see, she drags her feet. So we constantly have owies. During the winter, not so much, because there's snow on the ground, so she's not scraping up her feet on the gravel. So I'll tell you a little more about some of the things that I've done, tried, and if you guys have any suggestions, you're welcome. Please, you know, I'll show you some of the things that I've done, and then also if you have any suggestions on improvements, those are welcome as well.
Get your feet.
All right, thanks you guys. See you on the next video.